Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about Zhongli DPS. Now, as you guys know, there were a lot of changes in 1.3, notably the buffs to Zhongli and to the Geo Resonance. So not only is Geo Resonance good, but also Zhongli is now a top tier support, in my opinion, the second best support in the game. Insanely strong, and he's also a good DPS now. Previously, I think Zhongli DPS was carried by Crescent Pike to make him very average, like Shangling level, not great, but okay. Now with these buffs, not only is he a lot better, but he doesn't need superconduct anymore because of his hold E. He basically superconducts for himself and deals more damage, making him actually a good DPS. Now you guys can see there's footage in the background playing. My Zhongli actually does a lot of damage, and I really enjoy playing him. It's just satisfying to use a spear. He's just an enjoyable character. And a lot of people wanted me to make this video, so here it is. I don't want to waste your guys' time with a long intro, so we're going to get right into it, but we're going to be talking about everything you guys need to know about Zhongli, DPS, and then we'll do a showcase at the end. If you need a support video, that's already up, but we're going to be talking about DPS in this one. You guys already know, I stream most nights on Twitch, link in the description if you guys want to watch. That being said, let's get right into it. Alright, first of all, I just want to talk to you guys about why this works and what changed. So first of all, basically, Crescent Pike is just an insanely broken weapon for physical DPS characters. What it does is it just makes you do a ton of damage, and it gives you a second hit on all your hits when you do pick up a particle, and Zhongli already attacks really fast and has multi-hits, so this just stacks up to being a lot of damage. So basically, on top of giving you a high base attack and physical damage bonus, it also gives you a nice passive that makes you deal more damage. On top of that, Zhongli attacks really fast and has multi-hit moves, like this one is a multi-hit. So there are two things that changed. First of all, his passive now gives him more damage on his normal attacks with max HP. And that gets a lot of people asking, like, should you build HP on the sands or attack? And we'll talk about that in the artifacts. But you do get more damage just straight up. And the most important change is the new shield, which is like the best ability in the game. It's so powerful. It decreases the resistance of every single element and physical by 20% when you're shielded. So not only is it like a mini superconduct, decreasing the opponent's physical res by 20%, but it's also like a mini Viridescent Venerer set because it also buffs your elemental damage. So it'll buff like your ult and stuff and your off-field supports. If you have like a Fischl whose Oz is dealing damage, when you E with Zhongli, not only will it buff your Zhongli's damage, it'll also buff your Fischl's. So it's just a very nice change, and it fixes one of Zhongli's biggest weaknesses as a DPS, which was that he needed two supports for superconduct. He needed an electro and a cryo support. Now, he doesn't need that anymore. While you can still run superconduct with him if you want, you don't need it because you have this Jade Shield resistance shred. The first main thing I want to talk about is actually weapons. Now, the reason I want to start with weapons is because this is probably the most important part. This is the reason why I think Zhongli is such a good DPS. It's because his best, or one of his best options, is the Crescent Pike, which is a free-to-play spear, so very low investment needed, right? You don't need a gacha 4-star, you don't need a 5-star, you don't, like, it's even better than Deathmatch, which is the Battle Pass one. It's just an excellent spear. Something to note is when you compare it to Refinement 0 or Refinement 1, like not refined 5-star weapons, Crescent Pike will out DPS it for your normal attacks, for your autos, your auto strings, your combos. Crescent Pike gives you more damage. That being said, you do lose out on a lot of elemental burst damage because your burst does do a lot. So you lose out on the base attack from the Jade Spear, the crit rate, and the effect. And just to summarize without making this confusing, I would just say Crescent Pike is the best overall, just because you get more auto attack damage. And 5-stars can compare, so if you already have a leveled 5-star like the Jade Spear or the Shield Spear, the Vortex Vanquisher, you can use that because it gives you higher burst damage and the attack can be comparable like the normal attacks. But overall, I would just recommend Crescent Pike, especially if your 5-stars aren't refined. I would recommend Crescent Pike because you can refine it and it just does a ton of damage. And of course, it's free to play. Personally, my Jade Spear is higher level than my Pike, and I don't have enough materials to ascend it. So in the showcase, I might alternate between the two, or I might just use Jade because it's higher level. But just do note that Pike at the same level will do more auto damage. Let's talk about artifact sets. This is really important because there are many good ones. But something you should know is that if you're running Crescent Pike, which is, you know, what most people are going to be running on DPS Zhongli, it's just an insane 4-star. If you are running this, you want a 2-piece Glad with a 2-piece Bloodstained. That is the best set. Now you guys might ask, well, why is that better than 4 Glad or 4 Bolide or one of the other higher damage percent sets? Well, it's because those sets don't actually buff your Crescent Pike damage. This like second hit isn't buffed by 4 Glad or 4 Bolide. However, these two pieces actually do buff it. So overall for Crescent Pike, 2 Bloodstained, 2 Glad is the best. However, there are other sets that are actually comparable damage, like they are good, and if you are running like Jade Spear or another weapon, they are better. And those are the 4-piece Gladiator, because of the 35% normal and attack damage increase, and the 4-piece bolide for the 40% increase. So this one is 40% increase and a stronger shield, and the other one is 35 with 18% attack. So overall, 4 Crescent Pike, 2 Bloodstained, 2 Glad is still the best, but 4 Glad and 4 Bolide are good as well, and better for different weapons like the Jade Spear. Now we're talking about artifact stats. In terms of the stats you want on your artifacts, it's actually kind of the same as how you'd build any DPS. Now, a lot of you might look at this passive and think you want HP, but actually it's not that important, and like, sure, as a substat, whatever, but in terms of a main stat, attack on the sands is just better, it's just more DPS. So ideally what you want is attack percent on the sands, physical damage bonus on the goblet. Now, yes, you do mixed damage, but attack percent is still just worse than physical damage bonus because most of your damage is physical. So that's what you should be running. And then on your circlet, either crit rate or crit damage, depending on your ratio. For the substats, once again, it's like you'd build any DPS. You're looking for crit rate and crit damage, and having like attack percent and even arguably HP percent are fine as well. Now, a lot of people always ask for my attributes. This is what it is with Crescent Pike. And if I run Jade Spear and swap my artifacts around, just so I show you guys the difference in artifacts, this is what it is with Jade Spear. Also, so you guys know, I do not have any constellations on my Zhongli. Talent-wise, we are 668, but obviously for DPS, the main one that matters is the normal attack. I just don't really want to level this right now because, as you can see, I am very broke on resources. Now let's talk about party comps. This shouldn't be too long of a section because, as with Zhongli support, Zhongli DPS is very flexible. Now, the first thing I want to get out of the way is basically talking about superconduct. Superconduct decreases the physical resistance of enemies by 40%, and Zhongli's shield, as you know, decreases by 20%. And while they can stack, it's not necessary to run 2 like resistance decreasers because it's not like that big of a deal when you already have the first resistance decrease. That being said, superconduct can still be nice on Zhongli. It can still be a good option, but it's not necessary. That means you can build your comp in different ways, whereas before the shield buffs, you kind of needed superconduct. Now, if you still want superconduct, you can run a cryo and an electro support like these two, or you know, any two. You can run like Diona as your healer with a official support who's just a very strong character, and you can have that superconduct if you want it. Personally, I don't use superconduct with Zhongli because, as I said, he doesn't need it. So what I like to do is run strong burst supports, off-field supports like Xingqiu, like Fischl, who just do a lot of damage without needing to be on the field. Obviously, with Zhongli, you want to make sure you have a healer, and all of them work fine. Once again, Diona would be good for superconduct, and Bennett is good overall because it's Bennett, and he's just a great character. Personally, I've been enjoying running Albedo with Zhongli because he acts as a battery for Zhongli, letting you spam your burst more often. And on top of that, you know, he's a strong character, a very good support. I really like Albedo, and he enables the Geo Resonance. He gives you Geo Resonance, which, if you guys don't know, got buffed and is actually very good. But yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail because Zhongli is very flexible. You don't need like a specific set of elements for him because he is Geo. So just run whatever good supports you can. Stuff like Xingqiu, Fischl are all great options. I very quickly want to talk about a bit of animation canceling you could do with Zhongli DPS. And I mentioned some of these in my last video, but it's been a while, so I'm going to cover them very quickly here. First of all, something you should know is his charge attack can actually be very nice, and I enjoy it. And one thing you can do is you can cancel it very early. You can cancel it at different times, and you can like jump in like weird ways. There's a lot of ways to do it, but you can cancel it very early, actually after one of the spears. So you can see like there's a bunch of spears. After the first one, you can actually cancel it if you want to. And another important thing to know is, so your full hit combo looks like this, right? You can actually just cancel it after the spin kick if you want to go do other stuff. The last hit is nice, and sometimes you can use it, but it does take a while to do, so sometimes it's worth just canceling after the kick and restarting or swapping or whatever. Alright, now we're going to do the DPS showcase. And once again, it's going to be just a bunch of random places, maybe Abyss 12, whatever. We're just going to be DPSing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. And I think since my Jade Spear is leveled and my Pike isn't, I'll probably use that. But just do note that at the same level, Pike is actually more damage from your autos. So like, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you guys what my Zhongli can do. And let's get into it.
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through? In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you,
So overall, Zhongli is a very strong and flexible DPS, and he's a really good free-to-play low investment option because Crescent Pike is insane on him, and he can fit any team comp. He doesn't need like a huge amount of investment to be good. And obviously, as you guys know, he's also an amazing support. But yeah, Zhongli DPS is sick. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed playing him because he's a very strong option. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like and stuff, that helps out. And come watch me on Twitch if you want. I will be streaming tonight. That being said, we just pulled Jean, so maybe a guide soon once I build her, we'll see. But that's about it for me. Subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.